Hello, guys and gals. This is Mitch with Jay's Ace Hardware, and I'm here today with Lee Woods of State Farm Insurance. And Lee, I'll let you go ahead and tell the kind of people what you do.
Okay. I am a rural insurance agent in a county of 16,000, and our office services about 7,000 accounts. And I've been doing this for 33 years. I'm in a 1,200 square foot office building that I currently own.
All right. And so with these things, as usual, we're just going to go through a couple questions, brief questions, and it's going to be real. It's not going to be like we're going to stop this thing and redo some stuff. And we're just going to bounce off each other and talk about the LED light reset we did, which was one of the first ones we originally did when we started doing LED lights about a year ago, right?
That's right. That's right.
So my first question to you, Lee, is what was your original thoughts on LED lights, if any?
I don't know. I mean, I'm a business guy. I always assumed LED products were something that was going to be in an industrial or like a manufacturing setting.
Right.
And when that came to me, I was like, nah, we do fluorescent lights and just standard lights that you would see in a small business. And I really didn't think it was the same application.
Mm-hmm. Very understandable. And that's, you know, for people who aren't electricians like you and I, it's kind of a tough subject to even think about LED lights. So, what did you have in your current business before you guys swapped over?
Well, I've got about 8 dual fluorescent light settings. I have a staff of 7, so they each have one over their desk. And then I had ceiling fans with light kits on them that had just standard Dollar General type light bulbs.
Right, the ones that get 100,000 degrees if you touch them.
Yeah, I had that, and we were running back and forth changing lights, and we would have to change fluorescent bulbs or ballasts, really at least once a year on those other bulbs.
Right, and that can be a hassle considering that that's not our expertise here.
That's not what I do. I mean, it just takes time away from my role and what I like to do, and that's just an aspect that I would call somebody to get help on that.
Right, exactly. So we've obviously discussed a little bit of the problems with the whole fluorescence. So how did you guys go about solving this issue once you realized it was a problem, or better yet, there was a solution?
Well, actually, I mean, that's the thing. Jay's Hardware, they had been customers of mine for many years, but in addition to that, I enjoyed having a relationship with them. And they started a business program, and instead of me going to the box retail setting, they had an outbound service where they would come to small businesses and call on them for various things that I could use without having to leave the office.
Right.
And one of the things that was brought up to me by Jay Bullock, who's the owner of Ace, as well as you, and you were working there, is the fact that I could, this is what perks every business guy, is how much money I could save if I converted to LED lights. And I, naturally, if I can have a long-term savings, I've mentioned that, but my concern was I really didn't understand how LED lights worked, nor was I sure how it was going to look in the office.
Right, very understandable. And so, us talking through the process with Lee and showing him some examples we had just done, it pretty much tipped him over the top, and we end up doing the place, and very, very hesitant, questionable how it goes, of course, since that's not our area of expertise, but turned out really good. And the big question that, of course, everybody wants to know is, what was your savings? How big did you say the building was again?
The building's 1,200 square feet, and
I think we got 8 fixtures in here, something like that total. 8 dual fixtures, I believe.
Right, that's correct. And I mean, I was set up on a budget billing deal with Georgia Power. So what they did is they made an adjustment to my budget bill after the first annual period was done.
Right.
And it was $250 savings.
That's
the difference on that. And
for a building this small, the $250 a year. Now we're looking at somewhere around the lines of $22 to $20 a month. Yeah. But I mean, you think about a business this small that is a very small standing building, saving $250 a year. I mean, That's pretty incredible.
Well, I mean, I'm recouping my cost after 2.5 years, and here's the thing is, I haven't had to change a light.
That's exactly right.
All the lights, I don't know, they burn for how many years? I'm not
8
sure.
to 10 years.
8 to 10 years, and so I'm saving that. I'm saving the hassle of dealing with ballast, and it's just I like the way the lights are. They're gentle. They're bright enough. They're not harsh. And I would have situations in the past, people would be in front of us at our desk, and we're talking to them about their insurance needs, and the light was almost like an interrogation light. I mean, very, very bright,
Yeah.
And so it's just it's good. It's good for our eyes, and it gives a natural look. But I'll recover my costs on that, and 2.5 years, and then after that it'll be profit.
Yeah, profit.
And if these do burn, as y'all say, without any hassles for 8 to 10 years, then I'll be that much to the good.
Yeah,
every
if we
year.
really, get technical about it, think about how much we'd save on electricians coming in, how much time you'd save, and time is money, of course,
Yeah.
in a business like this. And so, really, if we get technical with it, there's no telling what that number could really be,
Right.
And so that's one thing to think about as a small business owner. And Lee brings up a great point in the fact that if you're in a small building like this and you're talking to customers constantly, you don't want an overpowering light. And he mentioned that we have a cool light in here. It creates a peaceful atmosphere. It's not a big bright daylight light, and so it's not beaming into the customer's eyes, So that's something as a small business owner, if you're watching this, that's something you want to take into consideration. And I'm hoping that's something that me or another salesman has mentioned to you, is that, if you're in a place of business like this, you're not trying to blind people or make people feel uncomfortable.
Right.
And having a cooler light system, like I think in here we put the 4,000 kilowatts or kelvins, 4,000 kelvins in here. And those are a cooler color. They're not as bright or as screaming as you mentioned as a industrial type building where you would put 5,000 kelvins in, and of course you'd have more of a yellow light and it'd be a little brighter, but you can see more. It's not like you're in here and you're not trying to, scorch people's eyes out or anything like that.
Right. Well, it complements our windows, and if we open our blinds, and it complements that. It's just not. It's just something, when I come in, a first impression of a client is important to me. Going along with having a clean, friendly, receptive office, you want your aesthetics to be calm and calming. And we have, some gentle music on, as well as the lights, which are calm. And so that works for me. And, going back to the money aspect of it, which business guy kind of focus in on, if I pull, $250 worth of savings, and I do that for 10 years, that's $2,500. Well, it's going to be 2.5 years to pay part of that back. But really the difference on that is I'm looking at, $750 worth of net savings or so after 8 to 10 years. And that's well worth, committing to do that and what it is. But that's the deal. Listen to what the folks have to say. As a business owner, people are always coming in trying to sell you something or sell you a product. But with this, you're actually investing back into the place where you spend most of your time outside your home. And if you're doing that, you want to put something that's going to be comfortable for you. Same process you do with your own house. So I'd highly recommend taking a look at switching LEDs, not only in a commercial or industrial setting, but even a small business aspect of it. I would do that.
And, one of our final questions here is, of course, like we mentioned earlier, you don't have time to come in here, and of course you're not an electrician, so you're not going to replace these bulbs. How did we go about doing this for you, and could you mention how the convenience, if there was convenience, if there wasn't?
Well, the thing is, it was a total package. I got the bulbs, and not only did I get that, but I had the installation, and all that was done by Jay's Ace Hardware. They have a qualified, trained electrician on staff who comes in and does the install for us, and then
during closing hours.
Yeah, and it wasn't during the day. It's a very good point. It didn't interrupt our standard business operation, so it went smoothly. And then we came in Monday morning, and it was done. Yeah. So you couldn't ask for any better service than that.
Exactly. Well, Lee, thank you so much for your time, and I always enjoy visiting with you. And we're again sorry about the cell phones going off, or if there's any miscommunication
business.
of words. This is a business. We got people trying to get a hold of us, but at the same time, we wanted to make it as real and raw as we can, and because this is real life, and we want y'all to feel like you are sitting here with us. And we appreciate your time looking into the video, and we hope again this has swayed you more in the direction to purchase LED lights for your place of business and brighten up your place of business as Lee has done here. So again, thank you for your time, and we appreciate you watching.